Hey guys, it's Will here. So the question is, are airlines going to crash on Monday? So Warren Buffett announced that Berkshire Hathaway has sold all of its shares of United, Continental, Southwest, Delta, and American. So recently there was the news that he had lowered his amount to like 10% or something like that. And, that people were making statements about, he's just reallocating money or whatever, or there's certain rules about, what he needs to do. But in this discussion yesterday, he said that he has sold everything. He's completely out, and he thinks that they're not going to be doing so great because of the coronavirus. So anyway, that's not looking good for airline stocks. So the question is, are they going to crash? And I generally don't try to predict the future, but I look at the charts, and people think that is predicting the future, but it's really looking at human psychology and looking at the trends and seeing what's happening. Things can reverse on a dime, but this is generally a negative thing. But let's just look at the charts and see if we'd even be in this in the first place. So a lot of people are buying and holding airlines because they thought it's a great deal. They've been beat up really bad. I don't generally think that's the way to go. You can still buy those. It's just you have to use the charts. That's my opinion to figure it out now. I know there's people that value invest or buy and hold and hope for 5-10 years from now that people will be flying again, which is true. But let's just go to TC2000. That's what I use for charts and looking at stocks and analysis of many different kinds. So JETS is an ETF that has a bunch of stocks in it. The nice thing with TC2000, there's so many features that are unbelievable, but you can click on this component watch list next to the ticker symbol, and it brings up all the stocks inside of that, which is an incredible feature in my opinion. So we've got Southwest, which is Love, JetBlue, Alaskan Airlines. So if we look at Delta, they all have the same sort of pattern. So if you're not familiar with candlesticks and charts and stuff, I've got a moving average here. This is 34 exponential. This is 50-day moving average, which is a common. And the 200-day moving average is way up here. And this black line is the 8 exponential, and this is the 3 exponential moving average. So you don't have to worry too much about that, but right now I just want you to see that after we had a huge crash, there's a little bit of a bump there, and then it's been pretty flat. So a lot of people are going to hold for a very long period of time, but I don't even get involved in this area because nothing's happening. But I decided when I saw this candle here, this is just the open and then the close price. So it opened and then it closed higher. That's a white candle. So when I saw this go up 5 or 6%, I got in, and then there was an uptrend here of the 3 moving average. So you can see it's starting to move up. And then the other thing you have to realize is that when it hits these moving averages, it often bounces down off of them. So I did a really quick trade. I bought here and I sold. So if we take a look at the spreadsheet, I've got here, where is it? Here we go. So I bought JETS at 14.37 and sold it at 15.30. So 14.37, 15.30. So, oops, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. This is Dell. But they all have the same sort of shape. So let's just take a look at Love. This one didn't go up quite as high. But if we go back to JETS, 14.37 down here, and then the 15.30, not quite at the top. So I sold it fairly quickly. But I like to get out before, I don't wait right till the very top. I like to get out as it's approaching there. So it was a really quick trade. But you can see it. Once it bounces, a lot of times it just keeps going down. So you have to watch. You can rebuy in if it goes back above. So you can wait until and see if it's going to break through. So a lot of people are afraid to buy and sell stuff quickly, but you can, for me, even if you have gains, like inside of a retirement investment account, you're not going to pay the taxes during that time initially. So basically, I don't have a problem with getting out and then seeing what happens. If it breaks through, you can buy back in again. So there's a quick little target here in between here. So if you got in right as it got above the 8 EMA and you went up to the 34, that's like 12% in a day. So you could really go crazy if you wanted to. So I bought this and I made just $500 or so. And then I also bought in Canada, we have this thing, an airline called Air Canada. So it's ac.to for the Toronto exchange. So the very similar thing happened. I got in here and what day was this? I got in here and as it got to the 34, you can see the wick here, it came back down. It did end up going the next day right up almost to the 50, but then it bounces off. So that happens a lot. You'll see, even if like during the crash, you might think, oh, it's coming back, and you buy in here, and then it bounces off this. This is the 8 EMA, and then it just comes down. You can use trend lines too, like you can draw a line, and usually, you know, you want to wait till it gets close to the trend line. Even if you're shorting, if you're going all the way down, you want to wait. You don't want to maybe short here. You want to have it come back and sort of meet up with that trend line, and then short at that point. But I don't do the shorts in this case. So anyway, here's another earlier spot where it didn't quite get to the 34, but you know, if you bought down here and you're riding it up, you might want to dump it just to be sure, see if it's going to break through there. So in my opinion, I wouldn't be in this no matter what Warren Buffett did, but it's obviously not a good sign. But I don't try to predict what's going to happen, so I basically use the charts, and if something changes, so it's kind of like sentiment that everybody's getting excited about the airlines, and then something like that happens, it can totally change the you know, the incentive, the sentiment about a certain stock or sector. So anyway, I hope that helps. I'm just trying to emphasize with these videos that, you know, I look at the charts, and I encourage you to do that. And I'm not recommending buying or selling any particular stock, but just showing you and sharing with my thoughts. And I'm still learning a bunch of things, but I'm doing pretty well so far and putting a lot of work into it. And like I said, if you want to get TC2000, there's a link in the description below. You can get $25 off. And I've been showing in a bunch of videos how powerful it is. And I hope that you can see the value in this. So like I said, I was using a lot of free stuff, and I just finally decided to pay. It's only, you know, it's not that much per month, and I've made so much more money because of this ability to scan and find stocks and create watch lists and alerts and all that kind of stuff. So the amount that I spend is pretty small compared to how I'm benefiting from it. So check it out if you want to do what I've been doing. Talk to you guys later.